What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're going to be going over the best first E5 heroes for each individual faction for you guys to focus on your newer or even mid-game accounts, like the best ones to go for progression, because I know we have a lot of new players coming to the game right now, so I want to make sure we kind of keep up with like the end game stuff, but also talk about early and mid-game topics too, because a lot of people are like, what hero do I build in every faction? You build one hero at a time, as always, but you can kind of go by the free-to-play series. We want to build one really good hero in every single faction. So let's jump right into it. Let's go over and kind of talk about what your options are for each individual faction. Hopefully it helps you guys out. Hit that subscribe button. Let's jump right into it. So first up, let's talk about the Shadow faction. Now, the Shadow faction actually has a lot of really good heroes for the early and mid game. Probably going back to one of the older heroes that we're going to mention in these lists, and that's Horus. Horus is an okay first hero to build in the Shadow faction. He can, of course, get you Sealand 20 done. But besides that, he doesn't do that much in the game. He's an okay option if you just absolutely have only his copies and you can't build anybody else. Another one that's similar is kind of Ithaca. So Ithaca is still probably one of the best PvE damage dealers in the game, but that's kind of all she's good at, is those PvE boss battles. She can, of course, get you Sealand 20 with a little bit of support as well. She is going to be one hero on your account that you technically might keep from day one on your account all the way through a full endgame account, mainly because she can do some of the best damage until some Transcendence heroes kind of trump her overall. But yeah, she's really, really good. But I really feel like there's only two picks when it comes to the Shadow faction. This one that I kind of call second place is going to be Tix. You guys know we love Tix. We've built Tix. We've had like 2 years worth of videos just saying how good Tix is and what he's good at. He's good at Aspen Dungeon. He can do Sealand by himself. He's the key to a lot of Tower of Oblivion to unlock that. He is the best Aspen Dungeon runner. He was part of the team that got you all the way through Defier in Void Vortex before Sword Flash combos came out. He was the big damage dealer. However, in the brand new game modes, they did change things so that it kind of nerfed him, where he basically deals damage based on the target's attack. They now made targets in these new PvE modes have like extremely low attack values and extremely high health values, so that he wasn't just the go-to answer for the infinity of this game. He is, however, still good. He's not really a great first E5 hero, but he is a good first Shadow hero to build. But I think it's hard to dethrone Eloise. Eloise is just by far one of the most versatile heroes in the game. She'll get you Aspen Death 50 checkmark kind of done. She'll get you the easiest, like literally the easiest Sealand 20 of your life. She can be Mim Waves in Tower of Oblivion, so she's very strong there. Her PvE damage is very strong. She's amazing by herself in Void Vortex early on and in your Void Realms Gate. Those are really important things here. And she just does good really much overall. She has really good support to her own self with her own self-healing and everything. She gets tons of attacks. She counterattacks. She is by far, though, number one when it comes to the Shadow faction. Now, after that, we're going to move over to Fortress faction, and there's really only a couple options here. So traditionally, Penny, she was probably the go-to for the Fortress faction. The one silver lining of Penny versus anybody else on this list is technically Penny can get you that Aspen Dungeon Death 100 clear. Besides that, she kind of lacks everywhere else, in my opinion, besides maybe early game PvP with her big crits and her big explosions from Eerie Trickery. She's solid. If you're going for a first E5 hero, like your first one, and you chose the Fortress faction, Inosuke is amazing. He'll get you solo Sealand 20. He'll get you Death 50 in Aspen Dungeon. He can do pretty good and can beat some of the early Mim Waves in Tower of Oblivion. And he's amazing in PvE, giving himself his own shields over and over again. He has survivability, damage. He's pretty good overall. And you will keep him forever on your account. Why? Because he is a householder for Sword Flash Shia, which is pretty much a must build on everybody's account. Now, some people could argue you could build Shia as your first Fortress hero if then you're going to be transitioning her immediately into a Sword Flash. She can get Sealand 20 done. It takes a little bit more than other heroes, but she can get it done. but that's about it. She's basically there just to be turned into Sword Flash. And then finally, the other one on this list is Holmes Young can do Sealand 20 very easily as well, but he does suffer in every other game mode. He doesn't have his own sustainability. If I had to pick one hero out of this list that I think is just the best hero in the Fortress faction to build as like your first and only Fortress hero, definitely Inosuke. He's going to be useful in the future as a householder. He does a lot of things early game. He's very, very strong. Now, Abyss is probably one of those factions where it's kind of crazy because there's a lot of very good heroes to get Sealand 20 done. If we're talking about heroes to get Sealand 20 done, Cthulhu can do it. Delacium can do it. Mirax can do it. Waldeck can do it. Even Natasha can do it. Abyss Sealand has the most options to pick from, but I think what you should probably focus on is something along the lines of who you need. Now, none of these are like super key important householders. One thing you can consider if you are building your Scarlet Queen, will come on over here and you can take a look at the list of them here. Queen and Ignis, really neither of those are going to be your first ones. Waldeck or Mirax or Delacium. Those are the three you want to pick from the Abyss faction to build, because if you do need a householder for Queen to push like Sealand 21 and 25, these are the three are going to be the best options. Now, Delacium is still part of one of like the best overpowered PvE teams in the world with him and Ithaca. He does struggle a little bit compared to the others to get Sealand 20 done. Mirax, kind of the same thing. If I had to pick one, I would say Waldeck is the most useful and versatile of the Abyss heroes for two reasons. Number one, his Abyss Sealand 20 is extremely easy to get done. And number two, his Blood Frenzy effect can help your main carry heroes survive longer. Gives them more attack, it gives them self-healing based on HP lost. Very solid hero. If I had to pick one, I would probably pick Waldeck, but honestly, if you pick either Delacium, Mirax, or Waldeck, you really can't go wrong for picking your first Abyss hero. Forest, again, there's a couple really good options. Some of them are options you might want to swap, though. Garuda is undeniably the best way, in my opinion, to get Forest Sealand 20 cleared out. But after you're done clearing Sealand 20, she's essentially useless in most game modes. If you then take the Garuda and convert her into a Rogan or a Panda, that would be perfectly fine. It would work good. It would be great. But really, Garuda is the pick, in my opinion, for first Forest hero. You could say, if you're building your first Forest hero down the road and you have some pay-to-win artifacts, you have V4, you can get it done with Rogan. It is a little tougher. I would still consider building Garuda first and then swapping Garuda out. Besides that, there's really no other great candidates for clearing Sealand 20, at least easily in the good ways. So Garuda takes it hands down. Now, in the Dark faction, there's a lot of really good options here. My opinion, personally, is you go for Drake. Drake is going to be the most important when it comes to your team for getting, Sealand can get done with just some baby Amun-Ra's and carry. If he's got like V3, V4, he's going to hit like a truck. He's going to have crazy high dodge chance at 70%, so he can dodge and avoid a lot of the damage that the Amun-Ra's can't do. You still need like the 5-star baby Amun-Ra's to go along with the Drake, but Drake is an excellent choice. Besides that, you have like support heroes like Carry and Amun-Ra, but again, they're not going to get Sealand 20 done, and that's the important thing, is getting Sealand 20 done in every faction, so then you can progress further in Void Vortex. Aspen can be another good candidate, but again, I really don't think most players should be building Lord of Fear Aspen overall. He's a really cool hero. He can definitely get Sealand 20 done. Drake is a little bit more difficult to do it with, but he has more uses. He is undeniably the most important hero on a lot of accounts because of his defense down ability, removing all armor, damage reduction, all damage reduction, block, dodge, everything. And that's one of the most important stats to have in PvE boss fights and Void Vortex. So very important. And then lastly, we have the Light faction. There's really only two options in my opinion. Number one would be potentially Russell. Russell is the go-to to get Sealand 20 done. But Eos can get Sealand 20 done as well, and technically she can be useful to turn into Sun Devourer Eos. So I think Eos, by far, one of the best options there are out there. So I would go, if I had to pick my dream lineup and what we're kind of focusing on doing on the free-to-play account, going Eloise, going Penny, which Inosuke probably would be better, but they're both Rangers. You'll have to see. Waldeck, Garuda, Drake, and Eos. I think that is like the go-to first E5 of every faction. It'll help clear out that Sealand 20, and why I keep saying so much about Sealand 20 is because of this right here. Once you clear a faction Sealand 20, you get to do a huge amount of damage to that faction in Gate of the Void, which is very important. Gate of the Void, they're not talking about Realms Gate, they're talking about all of this. So it's very important to get Sealand 20s done. Hopefully it help you guys make some decisions. Let me know in the comments down below if you disagree with anything. I'll see you guys next time.